The world of automation can be really scary. So today I am going to walk you through the complete cycle of setting up a Make.com automation to include connecting clients and all the different pieces, which if you don't know what that means, that's fine. I'm going to walk you through it right now. So hopefully it gets done in 30 minutes, but we're just going to go through every detail. So here we are on my Make account. It's easy. Just Google Make at Make.com. You'll go there. You'll set up your account. It's on you to read all the things. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to we're going to create a scenario, create a scenario. And there's multiple ways to start a scenario. We're going to start with a webhook. So it'll trigger when a webhook receives data, and we'll talk about what a webhook is here in a little bit. So we're going to add a new one, and this one's going to be Demo Meal Planner Start, and we're just going to hit save. Okay, so it gives us this. We're going to copy this to the address board because look, it's looking to see where that webhook is. So we're just going to open a new window. We're going to paste, hit enter. It's been accepted. And see, now it's been successfully determined. We'll hit save and go ahead and move that over. All right, so now when we want to, just like our other, like what I did with Claude, we want to be able to tell our system what it is that we have in the fridge, what dates that we want a meal plan for. So to do that, I need to go to my Google Drive, and I've created a folder within my Google Drive, and I'm going to start new. And lots of you know about Google Forms. That's all we're going to do is create a Google form. So it's going to be called Demo Meal Planner. The first question we're going to ask is, what is the date of your first meal that you want? And it already knows it's going to be a date. We're going to make this a required field. What is the date of the last meal? It already knows. It's going to make that required so that it gives our automation a window to work with there. And then, are there any ingredients you need to use? Like anything that's about to go bad in the fridge. And that will be a short answer. Not required, just if you have stuff that needs to get used up. Are there any meal requests? And that's going to be paragraph. Perfect. Not required, because sometimes nobody knows what they want to eat. They're like, what do you got? Any additional special instructions? And that'll be paragraph. And then one more. Do you have an email? What email do you want this sent to? Otherwise, it will go to the default. It's going to be a short answer, not going to be required. So what we're going to do here, when we set up our full scenario, we're going to put in a default email. But like when my husband uses this, he wants it to go to his email. I could put two emails, put both of ours in there at all times. So maybe, you know, sometimes my kids will take care of planning meals. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, looks good. Let's hit publish. Yep, anybody with the link, publish. It's working on it, and now I need to copy this link. And we're going to go ahead and fill this out now so that we have data to work with. So I'm just going to paste that in. And first I need to go to look at my calendar. So here's my calendar. We got meals taken care of through tomorrow. We're going to pretend like we don't have Thanksgiving, or actually we can add that in. So we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we'll put that in. Wednesday. Wednesday is the first day. Saturday is the last date. Any ingredients? Well, I got a big old turkey in the fridge, and I have cranberries, and I have leftover pot roast. So maybe we'll see if they work that into the Wednesday meal. Meal request. Thanksgiving on 27 November. Thanksgiving style meal on Thursday. Gemini does better with dates. Say on Thursday, 27 November. Any additional no Thanksgiving style food on Friday or Saturday. I should say meals. Okay, and then what email? We just talked about that. I'm going to leave it blank. So I'm going to hit submit. And then when I go back to my form, I can see my responses. I'm going to link it to Sheets. So I want to demo meal plan requests. And it's the responses. Okay, perfect. So here we go. We see that showed up there. This is great. This is, I'm going to rename this just because I've had some issues. Rename. Demo responses. Okay, now we're going to go back to our integration and we want to add Google Sheets and we want to search a row. Sure, I just passed by it. Search a row, not advanced. That bit me before. Don't do advanced. Okay, now we need to make a connection. So we need to go to our Google Cloud. You can just Google Cloud. It'll get you there. It'll look like this. Make sure up here, console.cloud.google.com. And there's going to be the things. Read all the things. And then create your account. And then you'll go up to here. It'll always have my first project. I'm going to go in there. These are all the lists of my projects. I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to name it Demo Meal Planner. And hit create. It's going to create. I'll wait for that to be done. Okay, it's still on my first project. So I want to go to Demo Meal Planner. Okay. And then I want to enable API. I go to this hamburger menu. I'm going to go over to APIs and service. That's not APIs and services. There we go. Enable. Actually, we should go to library. It'll make it cleaner. I'm going to go to API services library. So we're going to scroll down to all the Google things. We are in Sheets. So we're going to need that. Enable that. We're going to go through. We're just going to enable all the APIs right now. Now, an API is not giving you access, giving them access, make.com access to your actual Google Sheets. This is just the connection between Make and this world of Google Sheets. We're going to get into the exact keys here in a little bit, the client IDs. So Google Drive is required for that. We're going to hit enable. Okay, now we're going to go to our OAuth consent screen. We are going to get started. Make. And then this is just going to be your email. Click next. We're going to be external because you're going outside of any kind of organization. Oh, I'll put my contact information. Okay, it's on you to read the things. So you open it, hit pause, read the things, click continue, create. Okay, create OAuth client. We want to do a web application. We're going to name it Demo Meal Planner Sheets. And we need to add URIs. So I have a list of URIs. I believe you can get them in here. This is where it gets tricky. Those are scopes, not URIs. So I do know that the URI we want is this one. So let me go back to make.com. Nope. I can never remember if it's that or with the slash, so we'll do both. Okay, I'm going to hit create. And then this is where it gives me my client ID. So these are the secrets. And if you try to steal my secrets, it's not going to work because I'm going to delete them right after I make this video. So I have a separate document place that I keep my secrets. So I'm going to copy. That's the client ID. That part's not the secret. That's just like the address. Click OK. And here is my client ID. And there's part of it. You could copy it there. But what you need is the secret, which is like a password. So sometimes it pops up with another window and it has all of it there. Because as you can see, that started in November, even though it's November now, you're not going to be able to get the secrets later. But I can still get them now. Okay. Looks good. I'm going to hit save. We have to add some scopes, so it knows exactly what it's allowed to do with that information. So you're not giving it too much. So my sheets are in my drive. So we got to go to the drive. So this scope allows them, make.com, your account within, whenever you give this access, to see, edit, create, and delete all your Google Drive files. So you know what's in your Google Drive. Are you giving too much? That's why I'm using a secondary email. All right. Now I got to, let's talk about sheets. Sheets. Yes. See what that allows. See, edit, create, and delete all your Google Sheets and spreadsheets. I could do view only. We're going to go with this because I know I'm giving limited access because it's a secondary Google Drive. All right. Now I'm just going to look at all of them and scroll through to make sure I got the right ones. So I got the drive. I got the sheets. I'm going to hit update. Then you'll see these pop up over here. So it's only sensitive. So non-sensitive, I don't even know what that would look like. But the sensitive ones is your sheets. Like, well, you might be a little concerned. Restricted is your drive because that's kind of a big deal. We're going to hit save. Remember, it's on you who you give access what to. So you're not giving those client IDs to anybody else, but you're still interfacing with just other websites, which kind of freaks me out. All right, I feel pretty good about that. Let's go back to make.com. So I'm going to add a connection. This is my demo meal planner. I'm going to get that client ID that I had before. And then my secret. And I'm going to sign in. Yeah, it worked the first time. Okay, I picked the correct account that I'm going off of. Access blocked. 403 access denied. So let's see the error details. Oh my word. Oh, it's offline. Okay. So, see, part of that headache. This is why I want to walk through this with you guys. Because I spent many hours of my life arguing with make.com and Google in my head. All right, branding. This is where we do it. Maybe it's audience. That's good. Audience. This is what we forgot to do. Publishing status. So I can add in the test users and go that route to put the email address and all that in. And then I'm going to have to go back and reauthorize it, like I think every week or so. I'm just going to publish the app because I'm only giving access to myself. Yep. Confirm. Apparently I didn't click the button before. Okay. So it's going to say this, that it requires verification. Don't fall into that trap. I spent hours down that trap. That is only if you are a developer. You're only using this for your personal stuff, so you can just ignore that. Okay, so we're going to go back to make. I'm going to try again. Connection. Oh, before we do that, yeah, no, we're good. Let's try again. Oh, this is a good sign. It's a red triangle, but that means that we're getting closer. So again, proceed at your own risk, but I'm going to trust Integromat, which is the predecessor to Make.com. Okay. Yep, it's going to see my contact information. And this is where Google is trying to protect you. Like, are you sure you want to give them access to your full drive and to change your sheets? Yes. All right, everything is green. It's looking at all my sheets. And, oh man, do I have multiple? What do we call that thing? Demo meal plan requests? Yes. This is what happens. You got to watch your naming conventions. Sheep name, demo. Yep, that's the one. Okay. We do have headers. So when you look at this, we have headers. So it'll know not to read that stuff. Or it can read it, but know that they're headers, not data. Okay. Column range. Yep. Yep. Order sort in descending. We'll check my cheat sheet notes. Oh, we want to order it by timestamp. So you'll see why. When you have multiple, you want it to pick the most recent one. So that's why we say descending. And then we're going to limit to just one. We just want to see the most recent. Hit save. Why is it a red? Value must not be empty. What is empty? Select from my drive. Okay. So we're going to see if this works. Now this gets a little, I'm going to copy the webhook. I'm going to click run once to test it. And now it's looking for that webhook. So I'm going to go in another window and I'm just going to paste the webhook in there and you're going to see it trigger. Boom, I see you. Now let's see what it came up with. And it sees demo responses. It sees all these things. Perfect. Great. So we got our sheets. Now we want to take a look at what our past meals have been. So I'm going to go to my Google Calendar. Search events. And now I need to create another clients. Create another client. And you could do it all under one client, but I like to keep them separate. Gives good practice. So this is going to be demo meal planner. You know what? We'll go back to this one. I'm going to rename this. Demo meal planner. Yep. So I'm going to hit save. And it's going to get data access. We now want to add scopes. You know, I'm sorry. We need to add APIs. Because we haven't added our calendar API yet. Go down here, calendar API, enable. Now I want to go to our credentials. Data access scopes. We've had scopes. Calendar. Okay, so we are giving it permission to see, edit, share, permanently delete all the calendars you can access. That's a lot, so know what you're given. Date. Okay. You don't need to do all this. This is only if you are a web developer. So now we're going to go back to Make. We are going to add demo meal planner. Is that the same one? Advanced settings. It's the same client ID that we can just keep on using. Should be anyway. Sign in with Google. That worked. Again, I've clicked through all these many times, and I have clicked on all the links and read them all. It is on you to read your own stuff and take the risks you are comfortable with. Okay, so we want my family calendar, and we want to start. Now, this is where things get fancy. We want to add days. Add days. You can learn how to type those in, but why? Because it has them set up there for you. So we want to look at now minus 14 days because we want to see what we've been eating. Minus 14 days. And then end date is going to be now. Just check. We are going to query dates that say dinner. So, and this is, I know this because in my calendar, and I'll show you, this is how I label all my meals. It always says dinner and then what the thing is. So dinner. I'll take out the colon just in case sometimes that's not there. And then event types. I don't need to put that in, and I want to limit it to 20 because it's going to go back 2 weeks. I know 2 weeks is 14 meals, but you know, we're just going to use a buffer. All right. So let's go ahead and run that once and see what happens. Oh, stop. I got to hit save. Hit it once. I'm going to go back over and I'm going to click that webhook. Yeah, let's see what it came up with. We're just making sure it works along the way. So it sees that I had, dinner was pot roast. Oh, we had tacos. All right, so it's getting it. That's good information. But now that was like a lot of data. What happens if we try to put that somewhere? Now we have to do an array. So we're going to add an array. Let me make sure I get the right kind. Array. And the graphic of the module will make it make sense. An array aggregator. So the source module is going to be from this, number 3. So these little numbers here, if you can see it, that gives us our module number. So far, we've been pretty clean. But when you look at my actual working ones, I have modules like number 53 because I mess them up and I have to delete them. Okay, and then we are going to do a custom. Yep. And then we want to do aggregated fields. We want to do a summary and we want the start. What's that say? Oh, it should not be the last thing. Okay, so before we make sure that that is working okay, yeah, let's go ahead and run it. Yeah, that's okay. We'll run it anyway. And again. Oh man, I'm having issues in the other window. Paste. Webhook. There it goes. Boom. Let's see what it comes up with. And then there, it just has these bundles simplified. This is all the things that it took from the other one, the date and then the summary. And then it's going to put it as an output. The array is going to look like this. So that'll make sense here in a minute. Okay, so now we got our past meals. Now we need to look at our future calendar. I suppose we could skip that part, but we've got time. You can skip ahead if you don't want to do this part. So we're going to search events. We're going to this demo meal planner. Nope. What are we doing here? Demo meal planner, family calendar. We want to start now. So Make is really great. It's very visually appealing. It has up here all the different types of just pre-made code that it has there. So this one that looks like a calendar is for calendar type stuff. So now is for the start date, looking from now, and we will we'll end date, we'll add days. So we'll do now, and then a 7, a positive 7, because we're going 7 days in the future. Okay. And then we'll do to 10 or 20. 20 because I was looking at my full calendar. We're not going to query anything specific. What did I do? I had 7. Okay. And that looks good. Now we need to, I'm going to zoom out of this. Okay, it starts to get too long for me. So however you want to do this, we need to add another array to bring those calendar events together. Source module is going to be, you can see there's a 5 here. So we need to pick Google Calendar. That's a 5. I could pull from any of these. It all goes in line. Okay, we want to do the summary and the date. The original. I think we want to do the start date. Okay. In order to add Gemini to our make.com scenario, we're not going to go back to the console. We're going to go to Google AI Studio. So you just go to aistudio.google and you're going to log in. And then we're going to go down here to get API key. And so I already have some set up, but I want to create a new API key. We're going to call it Demo Meal Planner. And we're going to create a new project. It's going to be my Demo Meal Planner. Create that project. Just thinking about it. I named my key, and I'm going to create that key. So it's creating. Here it is. We have to set up billing. Now, billing is super confusing when it comes to Google. So far, I haven't been charged anything. I'm still on $300 worth of free credits. So we'll see where it goes. So for what we're using it for, when we do start getting charged, it's going to be pennies. But again, that's on you to read all the things. So we're going to link a billing account and my billing account. We're going to set that as the account. I've already set it up previously, put my credit card information in, kind of freaks me out. But as you can see, I've only used 3 cents so far with all of my automations. So we're going to go back to Google AI Studio. Let's refresh. And my demo meal planner is now on my tier 1. So I will copy that API key. I will go back, add Google Gemini. We want to generate a response. And so we'll go in here. We're going to add a new connection, demo meal planner. And I'm going to paste that API key in there. It's checking it, and that's good. Okay. Okay, so this is my connection that I have. And we want to do the most recent Gemini. So this is what we're on. Sometimes it has where it'll just Gemini Pro latest. So it'll just whatever the most recent is, because just last week they updated to Gemini 3. Okay. So we have, nope, we don't want that. So in role, we're going to put user, and we're going to add text. And then we're going to insert a prompt. So now you need to go back and make your own prompt. I have gone through and given you a prompt in the description of this YouTube video. So you need to go through and get your family profile. And so that'll be your family profile prompt. And then there's going to be another prompt that we're going to copy and paste. Really, you should start working on it in a Word document. Okay, here I'm going to show you the prompt that's going to be loaded into the instructions. So you're going to have this family profile prompt. Take it to whichever LLM that you use, large language model, and you can see you're a family planning profile consultant. It's going to go through. It's just going to ask you all these questions, and then it's going to give you an output that we're then going to use. The output is going to show your family profile, your family members, and then what your dietary principles are. So that's what that's the example, but yours will look like that. So you need to take the time to do it. I'm not going to try to do it here in front of you. And then also in that description is this other prompt that is what we're going to copy and paste into make.com. So there will be, I can't highlight when I put the instructions in there in YouTube. So these things that are capitalized and in these brackets, you need to fill that in. So you'll insert from your family prompt there. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do that now from the fake family that I created. So here is, and that prompt, that other, oops. Okay, and then dietary principles, and it'll just be, I'll show you what I'm working on. This is what I'm working on here, how it has it output this part over here. These are my notes for going through this. All right, so we're going to put in the dietary principles. And then variety and rotation. Oh, sorry. all of this goes in here. Sorry, cooking methods. So under dietary principles, we're going to copy and paste all that it's going to give you. The dietary principles, variety and rotation. And then you can see it'll have this. So this looks good to go. Okay, so I'm going to hit Control All, copy, and I'm going to go back to make.com. So within Gemini, I'm going to paste that in here. All right, so this gets tricky. Let's see if I can move this over. You go away. Let's go back to the top. So your family meal planner AI assistant. So put in family size. My pretend family is a size of 5. So here's the family profile. It keeps popping up. It's annoying. Okay. And we're going to look for those capitalizations that are in brackets to fill it in. Whoop, that was a leftover. Dietary restrictions. Okay, so these instructions, the critical variety rules. So analyze recent calendar events. So that's why we put that in there. Oh, gosh darn it. Okay, so we're going to insert from the array from the past. It is going to be, you can see up here, past meals. And I should have labeled these, but I remember that they are past meals. So this is aggregator 4. And we're going to include that array. And then this is where we're going to insert our variety and rotation information. Let's make sure it put that in there. It's super annoying working in this kind of space. Okay, so that put that in there. Special food requests. So we're going to go back to, from our meal requests, we're going to, in here, special requests. We're going to insert the requests. Special ingredients. And then special meals. And any additional instructions. Oh, it didn't delete that stuff. Okay, and then here we're going to use the ingredients. So sorry, special instructions. Let's delete that. So special requests are the meal requests, and then the special instructions. Use these ingredients. Okay, so plan meals from the start date. Delete that instruction. That's just a placeholder. We're going to go up here, and what is the first date? Scroll down. And the last date. Consider events for the above dates on the calendar. So we are going to pull from the array Here, the number 6 array. So I should have named these, but that's okay. So that's going to consider what's going on in the schedule in the upcoming times. Okay, so what else do we have? Output format, it's going to do that. We're going to click save. All right, let's take it for a test drive. Let me put that down. Pull up my other windows so I gotta get my webhook, copy that clipboard. And while I'm on that, no, it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna copy hit run. Webhook. Okay, it stopped at this one. Now is not a valid date. Oh, because from now, apparently it saved weird. So it was just looking at it as letters and not a function in there. Let's hit save. We're going to run. I got to go do my webhook. There it goes. Woo, it's working. Let's start cleaning up my other windows. While it's going through that, it's thinking, because it's doing all that stuff before. We've collected all this information about our past meals, aggregated, and now it's thinking through like, okay, what have you been eating and what's coming up in the schedule? Plus we threw it like a crazy thing about Thanksgiving and then no Thanksgiving. So I'm really interested to see what it comes up with, because that was kind of a doozy. All right, so now we have an output. I'm excited to see it. Let's see. These are so hard to read. So this was all the input that it got, the messages, parts. And you can see everything that it put in there. And what did we have going on? These are all the meals. Okay, so I didn't delete that part, but I did give it the information. So I went and got those tacos. I just need to clean up that prompt. It gets kind of weird in those windows. Okay, special requests. Okay, what do we have? Like my kids got their sports and whatever. So output. These are still its instructions. Okay, so that was all the thing it was going with, all the input it was going with. So the result is it's going to give us shredded pot roast, sauteed corn, and perfect. That's on Wednesday, so I'm using up my leftovers before Thanksgiving. And then for Thanksgiving, because it's only for a family of 5, I did not add in extra instructions that I'm going to my in-laws, and there's going to be a bunch of people there. So it went with like a modest turkey breast. That's kind of cool. Sheet pan Brussels sprouts and butternut squash, cranberry sauce, and stuffing. Perfect. And then we're going to go with chicken burrito bowls. And then air fryer. It didn't even use leftover turkey, maybe because it went with a turkey breast. I don't know. Who knows what it's thinking. Okay, and then it gives us this that we need to get a turkey breast, some chicken, all that. Perfect. It worked so well. Okay, so there's that. Now we need to get it out of we need to get it out of make.com, because you don't want to log in. You want to like get it to your phone. So we're going to add another module, and we're going to add a Gmail module this time. So send an email. And let's go back here. We got to add our APIs. What am I doing here? Library. Still searching for Gemini. Gemini library. Okay, there we go. Gmail enabled. Okay, so this is where it gets tricky because email, you allow something to send email and it looks like it's coming from you. You want to be super cautious about that. So let's do this. Credentials. We're going to stick with I'm going to start a new credential because that's kind of a big deal. So I'm going to create a new credential. No. Let's go to... Web application. Demo. Meal planner. Gmail. Okay. We're going to add the URIs. We need to do this URI. So it might be this one or it might be a make.com URI. So I know it's going to go kind of wonky, but we'll watch that. And so it's restricted. Usually you'll see this one just show up, but we want the restricted one. Okay. So we're going to copy that client secret. So this is the window I'm used to seeing. I guess in the future, just the restricted ones. Demo Gmail is what I'm putting in my other one. So I'm copying and pasting that secret that's right here. And again, don't steal my secrets because I'm deleting this after this video is done. So I have copied this client ID and this client secret, and I'm going to hit OK. And now when I go to that Gmail one, I don't think I can still. So maybe in December I won't be able to. Either way, that's fine. So data access. Now we want to add the scopes. So what scopes do I want to use? And this is where I'm going to go here to Google. What do I want to do? I want to be able to send an email. So we can just go to the Gmail one. It's really hard to see though. So I'm going to add them manually. So I need to send. I'm going to add that manual, paste, add that to the table. I want to compose. I know that's one of them. Compose, there it is. And then sometimes Google gets a little weird with labels. So I'm going to let it check out my labels. Can create, like, I don't really care about the labels. But I don't want it to read all my email. Even though this is a secondary one, I don't know. Weird about that. Okay, now, Yep, so sensitive, restricted scopes is my Google Drive and my email one. So I'm going to click Save. Now I'm going to go back to we're going to Demo Meal Planner Gmail. And this naming convention is not tying directly back to Google. That's just, I keep the names the same because then it makes more sense in my brain and I don't confuse myself more than I already do. So right now I'm just copying and pasting the client ID and the secret. This is where I spend most of my headache time. Let's see what it does. Okay, so error details. We're going to go in here, and this is what I was running into. So make.com. I'm still using the old Integromat one. So I'm going to use this URI. So it's telling me like, hey, you're trying to get something, but it should be this URI. Copy. Should probably save that in my notes somewhere, but I keep failing to do so. So I have to take that over to my data access. I need to go back to my clients. I need to go to the Gmail client, and I need to add that URI. So it gave me the answer. That's cool. Now it's already let's try this again. And it worked. Okay, so now I'm going to sign in to my Gmail, get the code from my phone. Okay. And yep, going to keep on moving. And it's letting me know it's going to have access to my email. It's going to see my stuff. It's going to be able to send emails, view your email messages and settings, and send email on your behalf. Okay, but this is my secondary account, and I'm not really too worried about that. Okay, give myself a... The subject is going to be meal plan, and we're going to insert some dates. So we're going to say start date to end date. And I can't see what's doing that. We're going to have it collect things. And then we need to go to content. We want it to be text. And we just want it to be the result from here. Boom, that's it. And then let me just make sure nothing else, no special signature stuff, and save. Is there something it doesn't like? Oh, who do we want to send it to? So this is the default that we were talking about before. When you go into your Google form, that'll be the default. So all right, we'll hit save. I am going to click run once. We want to double check that it's working. It's waiting for that webhook. I say, if you see my other videos, you've seen Claude always has issues with dates. Gemini does a little bit better with it, but still the large language models on their own struggle with it. But as you've seen how it has these functions that you put in with the specific date, it gets the date right every time. The downside of this make one is that there's just more involved. It was a lot harder to set up than just doing it with Claude. As you can see, this video is more than twice as long. But other people can use it. So before my husband got his own Claude account, like I can't give him access to mine. I don't want him to have access to mine. But he was able to use that Google form and then put in an email, like when I'm traveling or he's just taking care of the things at home. So let me check my email. And here it is. So here's what our meals are going to be. And then here is my shopping list. It doesn't take into account what I already have in the pantry. You can get sexier like that, but it's easier enough to think through it on our own. And you don't have the back and forth of like, no, I don't like that. But these are pretty good. And if you want to change it, just change it. But at least you're not thinking of what you want to do next. Okay. So the next part is adding it to our calendar. So to do that, we have to split it. So we're going to insert a router. We're going to break this connection. Keeps wanting to connect. I want to add a router. So it's going to split my flow. There we go. Now it's friends. Okay, let's zoom this out a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to, so we saw that our output was just from the email. We saw that it was just a big long list of like, here's all the meals, but now we need that to spread out to go to a calendar. So we're going to look for a parser, a text parser. Oh shoot, which kind do we want? We want it to, I don't remember. Let me hit pause and I will go find out. And we're back. So this is the tricky thing. This is why I want to walk step by step. So we want a parser and we want it to match pattern. Find string elements matching a fixed pattern. So we're going to put that in there and our pattern is going to be this. And look, you know what I came up with for this is I went through it with my make.com buddy, which is a Gemini special custom gem. So it works. It's fine. And then I'm going to go through, I do want it to global match. And it's multi-line. It's not single line. And do I want to continue if it finds no matches? No, I do not. And then the text is going to be the Gemini result. Okay. So I remember now. So it's just going to divide it up that it's going to have dinner. It's going to look for those things and then it'll match those. So save. Let's make sure it works because it doesn't make sense. Let's run it once. Run it anyway. It's waiting for my webhook. I got it. It's going to Gemini to actually go ahead and go back to our meal planner, demo meal planner. Go to settings. So responses, confirmation message. So we'll say something like, you've, your requests have been logged. Click the webhook link below to start the meal planning. Wait 3 to 5 minutes for your calendar to be updated and grocery list received via email. And then I paste the webhook there. And it's saved. Oh, I gotta hit save. There we go. So that will be in there. When we do copy responder link, copy. Okay, we're gonna have Oh, because I said you can only respond once. So I do need, no. What did I do? Copy. So let's go ahead and make Sunday meals through the next week. We won't put anything. Submit. See, and then it says your requests have been logged, and then we would just click on that to initiate the webhook so that when let's go back and check make.com. Okay. So what did it get? Okay, should not be the last thing. But now when we connect these, we'll see what the output was. Okay, it's tracking all those dates and then what the menu is. So that's all the input. It's not scrolling. Oops. And then our last one is our calendar. So we want to be able to create a new event. And we're going to choose the calendar, demo meal planner. Nope, not that one. That's what happens when I have multiple of the same name. Okay, it's good. Everything is going well. Continue. Okay. Well, I can move it over so I can see it. We'll create it quickly. We're going to go to our family. And then the event name is going to be dinner. Oh, no. It's just going to be the iterator. It's going to be the value. So how you can see how these all have text in it, if we ran it again, it'll show it. So I'm pretty sure that's correct. Hit save. And now let's run it again. Oh, you gotta wait for that webhook. It's going, it's going, it's going. Cancel. Now we're gonna check out our calendar. Refresh. Oh, it put it up here. It didn't put a time. Oh, let's go back and fix that. Okay. So when it adds it to the calendar, we want it to be in the start date. That's what I need. In detail. Let's try detail. There we go. So it's going to be the value. It's going to be dinner, what the meal is. The start date is going to be the date here from the parser. And then we eat at 1700. And then if I want it, I think my calendar automatically does an hour. I'll do that to 1730. Save. Save. Okay, so here, now we can go ahead and just hit that webhook. We'll run back over here. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and make this thing live. Oh, how many times per minute? Only one. Hit save. And now we'll go up. We'll do the same thing. Sunday through Wednesday, no special requests. Wait, tacos. We want more. No, I don't know. We'll just leave it. And now I'm going to click this webhook. I'm going to come over here. Should be running. There it goes. It just needed a minute. Now it's running. And it looks like it's done. So let's now check out our calendar. And now we have all those Sunday meals down here. Woo! And that is creating a meal planner with a make.com scenario.